guys, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a very late mid-year book freak out tag. I know I should have done this, I think about a month or so ago, but I had the concept planned, but I just didn't seem to get to doing it. I know that sounds a little lazy on my part, but that's exactly what happened, and I thought better late than never, which I say to myself at least 12 times a year. That was funny. So I thought, okay, why not do this tag even if I'm a little late, a little meaning a month late, but since I had done it last year, I thought it was fair enough for me to do it this year. So here I am. So without further ado, let's get into this video and let me freak out properly about all the books that I've read this year and about all the books that I am looking forward to read in the second half of 2019. The first question is the best book you've read so far this year, and I have three answers for that. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and The Binding by Bridget Collins. Angie Thomas's writing is so phenomenal. She writes contemporary YA, and the way she talks about her characters, like the lives they lead, it's not all angsty. See, the topics that she chooses to write about are serious, but she also infuses some daily humor into them, and that is, I think, the best thing that an author can do, and she has become one of my favorite new authors. And coming to The Binding by Bridget Collins, that book is beautiful inside and out, and there's nothing else I can say about it. It's like one of the most beautiful books I've read in both ways. The second question is the best sequel that you've read so far this year. I'm not going to include Harry Potter in this because that's a given. It's a full 5 out of 5. But I have to say the second in the Throne of Glass series, Crown of Midnight, was so awesome. I had read Throne of Glass and I thought that it was not that great. I found it repetitive, and it's sort of the same thing happens over and over again. There was no substance to it, it felt like. But Crown of Midnight does so much more. It builds on Selena's character. It builds on the relationship that she shares with so many other characters in the story, and on the whole, it builds a world that was introduced in Throne of Glass and it makes it into something more. And that is why I love Crown of Midnight, and I can't wait to start on Heir of Fire, the third in the series. And I keep saying this in so many wrap-ups, but I still haven't gotten to it. Question number 3, a new release that you haven't read yet but really want to, and that has to be With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I think it's here somewhere. It's here. Let me explain. When I made my July TBR, I knew I was being overambitious. So I'm going to do this thing in which I'm going to pull the books that I'm really excited about from my overambitious July TBR into my August TBR, and hope that I will be able to finish at least that. And With the Fire on High, a book that I was so excited about, it remained unread. Prompt number 4, your most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I think that has got to be The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I'm editing this video and I feel like I did something wrong by mentioning The Testaments, the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, because I haven't even read Handmaid's Tale. How is that even a thing? But I finished reading Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill just recently, and I love it so much. And I found out that her latest book is coming out in September, I think. It's called Great Goddesses and it's coming out in September. And now that I have had a taste of Nikita Gill, I feel like that is the book that I am really excited about. Prompt number 5, your biggest disappointment, and there were 2. One was genuinely heartbreaking, the other was very infuriating. The one that was heartbreaking was Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak, because I love The Book Thief. And when I read Bridge of Clay and I found it so not the way Marcus Zusak writes, I was like, oh my god, this is not working for me. This is such a huge disappointment. What am I going to do? And the other one, which was infuriating, was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, and that was one of the worst books I've ever read. It was pretentious, it was annoying, it was disrespectful. It was insulting to many people. I'm just going to put it out of my head. Prompt number 6, your biggest surprise. And this was Karno's Daughter by Rimli Sengupta. It is the story of Buttermilk, who identifies as the daughter of Karno. Like, it's inspired by true events, and Buttermilk, they use the name of Buttermilk because they don't want to give out her identity, to show the demarcation between the rich and the poor. And the way the author has written that story is simply amazing. Prompt number 7, your favorite new author or an author that is new to you. And I have to say, I have 2 authors here. One is Angie Thomas, as expected. I've been raving and raving and raving about her. And then there's Bridget Collins, and the author of The Binding, and these 2 are simply amazing. There's also another author. I'm in the middle of a book called Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill, and it made me cry. Tears were welling up. I was sitting in a cafe and I was reading that book, and I had the sudden urge to cry. I just wanted to get up, go to the restroom, cry my eyes out, and then come back again and start reading it. But I knew that I would go back again because it's that beautiful. I mean, prompt number 8, your newest fictional crush. That has to be Lord Arteloth Beck from The Priory of the Orange Tree. He's so straightforward, he's so righteous, and he is so supportive of Ede and Margaret, that I just felt like, that man, okay, I now have a crush on that guy, and I can't even help it. Prompt number 9, your newest favorite character. And I have to say, none. In so many books that I've read about 83 books so far, and I haven't found a single character who I would die for, which is how I choose my favorite fictional characters. Like, for example, for Fred and George, I would give my life. That's just how it works. Maybe, like I said, my newest fictional crush, Arteloth Beck, but it's not to that level. Prompt number 10, a book that made you cry, and I have 2 books for that. One is The Binding by Bridget Collins. Oh my god, what a beautiful book. But I really don't want to give out the entire story, because once you read it, it's going to bruise your heart and will make you cry. And the second book is When I Hit You by Meena Kandasamy. It's a story of domestic abuse, and the way the author has described the abuse, both emotional and physical, it just gave me the chills, and it made me cry, and I cried like a baby. Prompt number 11, a book that made you happy, and for this I have to go with On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Like, what an uplifting book that is. Like, it talks about following your dreams, and it tells you that anything is possible. Yeah, you may encounter a few obstacles on the way, but with the strength and with the determination and grit that you have, if you have those in enough quantities, then you will be able to do anything that you want. Your whole life awaits you and the world. Prompt number 12, your favorite book to film adaptation. I haven't watched many book to film adaptations this year, but I did enjoy watching Love, Simon. There were a few changes here and there, as is want to happen when a book is adapted into a movie, but I did enjoy watching it because I had loved Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda when I read it last year, and finally watching the movie now, I enjoyed it to no end. Prompt number 13, your favorite video that you've made this year. I mean, I don't want to boast, but I've done quite a few videos that I'm really proud of. The topmost on that list has to be the one in which I talk about why I read, and also my collaboration with so many amazing booktubers and bookstagrammers, and then there's my travel vlog to Vizag, and there's also shit book hoarders say that I did for the biannual bibliothon. So I mean, there's a list of them which I am really proud of, but I'm just looking forward to the future where I have many more ideas to implement. Prompt number 14, the most beautiful book that you bought or received this year, and that has to be The Binding by Bridget Collins. I mean, there's no competition at all. It has to be the most beautiful book I've ever owned, and that includes every single book that I have owned or ever borrowed or anything right from my childhood. It's that beautiful. Just look at the cover. Question number 15. What are some books that you need to read before the end of the year? There are quite a few books that I really want to read, which are part of the 12 books that I hope to read in 2019, as well as some other acquisitions that I've made. And the books that are part of the 12 books that I want to read in 2019 are Americana, which I'm in the middle of right now, and Killing Commendator, which I'm also in the middle of right now. I don't know why it's stagnating, but I'm hoping to finish it in August. Hoping, always. And then there's Pride and Prejudice, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, and The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, The Shining by Stephen King, and then there are so many others, With the Fire on High, Latitudes of Longing, Daisy Jones and the Six, You Will Be Safe Here, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, When Breath Becomes Air, the Grisha trilogy, I need to finish that. And then there's Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. There are way too many. I mean, if it was up to me, I would polish off my entire TBR. Like whatever book I have on my shelf that I have not read, I would finish it, but time does not work like that. So that was my very late mid-year book freakout tag for 2019. What did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your answers for these prompts? If you would like to share them with me, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.